Hey, it's Sam with a quick little show announcement. As you may know, I've been running my hour, trying to, really figure it out. And so I've been doing it in New York and LA, and all those dates have sold out. So I've decided to add one more New York date and one more LA date. So in New York, I'll be at Union Hall on May 3rd. That's a Sunday. And then in LA, I will be at Lyric Hyperion on May 14th. That's a Thursday. So I would simply love to see you there. I've been really having a good time doing this, and I appreciate you guys coming out and making me not look like a fucking idiot. Okay, enjoy the episode. Bye. Podcast starts now.
Well, we are both going through it, folks.
We're going through it in the heart of New York City. That's right, Midtown Manhattan.
So you have slept 3 hours.
I slept 3 hours. It was just one of those nights when I woke up. I went to bed at 1.
Oh.
Stone cold sober, went to bed at 1, woke up at 4 a.m., said, okay, time to go back to sleep.
Does that happen to you a lot?
Not to that extreme of a degree, but I just could not go back to sleep. And I was like, and then, you watch the time go by and then you're like, okay, well now it's 7. And it's like, well, I might as well go to the gym.
You went to the gym?
Of course.
You are insane.
Because it's like, what am I going to do? Go back to sleep and then wake up at 9 to be here?
When I'm jet lagged or something like that, I'm so terrified of pushing it that I'm like, okay, well, if I can't fall asleep, I have to sit motionless. Because if I go to the gym, then it'll activate the sleep and then I will never wake up. So are you feeling insane?
I feel insane. I feel completely insane.
Whereas I am going to be absolutely candid. I legitimately forgot something was on my calendar this morning, and which I have to say, it really takes a lot for that to happen. It's right there. I look at it before falling asleep. I don't know what happened. And I woke up, it was I woke up, hadn't brushed my teeth yet, got a email that was like, hey, we're here if you want to do sound check. And then I just joined a Zoom and had to start speaking with no coffee, no teeth brushing, no, just straight out of bed.
That's one of the scariest feelings one can have. When someone's like, hey, I'm ready to hop on whenever. And you're like, oh God.
Yep.
Ugh.
And it's not, it really made me nostalgic for times in my life where I've had an office job where you can join a meeting and kind of take a back seat. But I was like, wait, I'm being interviewed?
Oh no.
I'm the star of this Zoom?
How'd it go?
It actually, this is the thing. And I wonder if you feel this way about being sort of jet lagged. I actually think it went amazing. And I think I was so nervous that I was I started speaking like one of those people whose job it is to, a self-help guru or something. Mm-hmm. When someone just locks in and is in that kind of zone where it's well, it's interesting you asked that because it's something I talk about a lot. That was me for a full hour and a half in this interview.
So scary.
And I was like, oh my God, I can just do this whenever I want.
Oh God.
Because oftentimes I find myself doing the opposite where the tone is I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. Well, it's tough when you can snap into that because you're like, oh, do I have any authentic self? Am I just every time it's just a series of factors and expectations that makes me change?
Yeah. It's funny that's your outlook, which I think is a more pure one. Mine was oh, perfect. I'll just do this all the time now. This makes it so much easier. And I can just sort of be an automaton and turn my brain off.
Well, you kind of thrive also on that energy of being late. You
true.
To be how can I snap in?
It's true. I used to be much worse of making it everyone else's problem and being well, I'm stressed, so everyone else has to be stressed. And I'm coming in with a shaky energy.
Yeah.
And I hope at least that as I've gotten older, I've learned to only have that be internal and use it to my advantage without making everyone else nervous.
Yeah. I think when I go, I'm trying to think of going fake mode, which is what you're talking about. And I find I go fake mode socially, big time. If I'm in a space where I'm okay, I don't know anyone, I'll be smiles on. I will literally be hi, how's it going? In a way that I'm ugh, what have I become?
But you're more smiles. You're not being fake verbally. You're
That's true.
You're nodding and smiling.
That's true. My words are true.
Yeah,
my action
your words
is
are
fake.
true. And it's almost, sometimes I can see it in your eyes that I'm he really wants to be fake verbally, but he can't bring himself to do it. So you're just, it's you're in the sunken place.
Yeah, it can be pretty scary. I got to work on it. When I see people who are fake, I'm damn, you are good at this.
I know. Well, it's of course the biggest goal is to be fake.
I need
because
it.
it is the only way to get ahead. And one time we will do hypnotism therapy.
Yeah.
Hypnosis therapy in order to get there. But today is not that day because we're going to be real as fuck.
We're going to be real as fuck. We're taking your calls. And for the record, I just want to say we're recording this on March 17th.
Yes.
So if we say something that, by the time this is released and something insane politically has happened, we didn't know that.
We didn't know. And we're also not going to be commenting on things happening currently politically because
they
those
could
will be
over.
irrelevant. So we are being apolitical for artistic purposes.
Time is forcing us to be apolitical.
We're being apolitical more so in not in a Taylor Swift way.
Yeah, like in how would George Washington have a comment on social media?
Yeah, like why? So you're expecting George Washington to have a comment on the Facebook trial? I don't think so. He
How
doesn't know
could
what
he
that
know
is.
that?
He doesn't know. You think he knows about Meta?
And meanwhile, you expect Mark Zuckerberg to have a comment on the Revolutionary War?
He wasn't
He
alive.
wasn't alive.
And he has never read a book.
And it's over.
He doesn't know who won.
And he doesn't give a F.
There was this guy, I'm going to dox him. I worked at Meta for 1 year in my early 20s. For anyone who doesn't know, I apologize. None of it is my fault. I had an entry-level position and I was underpaid. I worked with this guy who has now, after, literally now in 2026, finally decided to become a whistleblower. I'm like, girl, you're late. Wait it out. It's going to come back in fashion. Just at this point, don't burn the bridges. And so he's written some sort of book or op-ed or something. And his big revelation was that Mark Zuckerberg asked him what the UN was.
Really?
Yeah, and so that is sort of we are the energy we're bringing to the table today is Mark Zuckerberg asking what the UN is.
Wow, we are definitely bringing that energy. Can I say, I met with someone who is in entertainment, presumably, and I mentioned one metal after another, and they were like, "What's that?"
No.
And I was like, "How?" Literally, even if you haven't
How
seen
recent
it,
was this?
2 weeks ago.
Well, they should be fired. This is what, by the way, you meet with people in this industry and they look you straight in the eye and they go, I don't even watch movies or TV anymore. I'm just on TikTok. It's well, you should kill yourself.
Then jump off a building.
Jump off of a building. You can film it for TikTok. I'm sure it'll go viral, which is all you care about, stupid bitch. Gender neutral.
That was awesome.
Oh, and by the way, this is less scandalous, but at our show, Patty's topic was heated rivalry. And my friend Steph had brought 3 people we went to college with. She said all 3 of them had never heard of heated rivalry.
Heard of?
They were like, what is heated rivalry?
This is freaky to me.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know how you can look at a screen in any place and not have heated rivalry shoved into your eyes.
But it also just goes to show you, in my mind, I'm like, we're so oversaturated, it's time to move on. People are still finding out about it.
I'm going to hurl.
And it's they found out about it at our show because we're talking about it, because we're commenting on it being oversaturated. It's that counts. Now they're going to go home and watch.
This is so
And
scary.
we're part of it. We're complicit.
Scary. Of course we're complicit. I mean, we exist in a society, of course.
Speak for yourself.
Should we do a call?
Yes, please.
Hey, Sam George. John from Toronto. George, I think it was a couple years ago that you said bears were in for 2025. I want to check in on that. What's the state of gay guy, I guess, fetishization? Are bears still in? I think there's a trend of guys getting hair transplants. Are we shying away from bald? Are we shying away from bear? I want to hear what you guys think. Okay, bye.
How about I take the hair transplant question and you can speak on the bear question?
Okay.
Because I did think there was a moment where we were reaching bald acceptance in a real way. And I have to say we've completely backtracked.
It's gone.
It is hair transplant central.
Yeah.
So much so that I'm like, did I subconsciously grow my hair out because I'm seeing so much hair transplant representation in the world? I'm the hairlines you're seeing on celebrities, on frankly people we know, it is shocking. I'm like, oh, I thought we had really reached a sort of body positivity tipping point, but for bald. And I was wrong. I will admit it. We
Completely
are
wrong.
back to hair transplant, back to hairlines, back to that being a actually, no, we're not back to it being a punchline. It's like an unspoken thing, which is even worse. It's sort of how Ozempic has brought back skinny, sort of opposite of body positivity.
Of course.
But without the like no one's actually going out being like nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. It's like an unspoken
They're just
thing.
like, shh.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like an unspoken thing. Everyone suddenly looks thinner, but it's like controversial to address it. It's the same with men, by the way, having completely different jaws and completely different hairlines.
There needs to be some transparency. It's so crazy. The hair transplant thing, there must have been like a shift in transplant technology recently, because I'm seeing like there are guys who like have pretty good hair who are like, well, I also got a hair transplant to make it better.
Yep.
And I'm like, but you had it fine. Like, so you had some imperfection. Is that illegal?
I know. It's interesting because it's one of those things. I get it because people have insecurities. It's like when people get a nose job. It's like people have just insecurities that they're like, I would just feel so much better if this one thing was fixed. It's not the defining thing in my life, but like it'll just help me be more confident day to day. And so I get it. And it's not someone's fault that they are affected by societal standards. But I would like to see more normal hair representation in film and television, because that they do have control over.
Of course.
You see a movie from the 70s, everyone's bald.
I mean, we'll never have a George Costanza again.
Everyone's bald, teeth facing all over the place. It's literally like the Fifth Harmony girls trying to, choreograph a dance in there. They're just sort of like yellow whites of the eyes. Like people are looking horrible.
People were normal back then. Now everyone's got to look they either look perfect or they found like the ugliest freak to play the role of cashier.
No, it's like Safdie's brothers are like, look at this troll we found in the subway grate.
He's so New York real.
Oh, and he's gonna
no
play
tongue.
a barista. He has no tongue and 5 toes total.
Ugh, yeah. I'm sick of ugly cast. Anyway, I think
no, but I literally there are no leading men who are bald. And when I say bald, I don't mean bald shaved. I mean, I need to see mid bald. I need to see some hair on the top, but not a lot. Yeah. And then hair on the sides.
Yeah.
Where is that?
I'm not seeing it.
Hello. I mean, I guess I'm literally like, what? I need Paul Giamatti, but in leading man form.
That's true. Yeah, we do need that.
Okay, so what do you think is the state of bears?
Well, I certainly don't think it's trending.
Nope.
I think we are in like a heated rivalry world.
Correct.
And everyone is like, how can you be more snatched? People are looking at those boys and being like, which one is the most snatched? Like, and actually being like, in fact, if you don't have that body, you're not really a gay guy.
I just want to say, like, to put a fine point on it, we are in a conservative era when it comes to body image.
We are fully in a conservative era.
And that's where we are. And I think it's up to everyone to resist because it's scary. We've lived through this before.
It's horrible.
And it's obviously not the number one issue facing our world, but I do think it's a symptom of worse issues facing our world.
Hey, and maybe by the time this episode comes out, it will be the number one issue.
Be the number one issue. Yes, everything else would be solved. And then the one thing left is body positivity.
That is possible.
No, it's tough. It's tough. I think I don't, and we're commenting on men's looks specifically. It's obviously even darker for women, but that's not our story to tell.
Ever comment on
I would never comment on a woman's look.
Unless they're slaying.
Of course. Then we have to reward that.
Okay, let me pull up the next call.
Hi, George and Sam. You two are some of my absolute favorite comedians.
Thank
I love the podcast. My question is, and I have more I've been thinking on, but for tonight is, so the other day we had, music video watching night, impromptu, of course. And I only have so many music videos that I can suggest. What do you think at my next music video watching night is the one I can recommend that'll make everyone in the room go, okay, you know what I mean? So if you have a recommendation, let me know. Again, love you guys. I think you're the greatest, and I can't wait to hear the next episode. So thank you. Bye.
Okay, I actually have an answer to this.
Great.
I have been recently, this is part of the 90s nostalgia we're having with properties like Love Story, JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, with various memoirs that have come out recently. People are simply obsessed with 90s New York.
It's true.
Now, here's what I have to say about that. What about 90s London? So my answer to this is I have been enjoying late 90s, maybe early 2000s, like videos where it's like British club culture. Think of Sonique Feels So Good.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see like green laser lights and shoddily edited dance sequences, because you know that they're filming in the club. Like it's not an actual, it is 2 p.m. and they are filming in the club. And I also want to see it intercut with solitary dancing on a mountain.
Yeah, like green screen stuff.
Yes.
I love that.
The things that are coming to mind are Sonique Feels So Good as a classic. Mel C from the Spice Girls has a song called, oh my God. I Turn to You.
Yes. Which is featured in Bend It Like Beckham, of course. Beckham.
Now, that is a really good music video.
I love that music video and song.
Yes. So that's a really good one you can put on. I have one that I really like that I've mentioned on this podcast before. It's by the electronic band Faithless, featuring Estelle, who you might remember from American Boy.
Of course.
And it's called Why Go?
Okay.
Have I told you about this video?
I don't know if you have.
I have, but like truly 5 years ago. So I'm just going to say what the plot of the video is.
Oh.
Are you ready?
There's a plot.
Yeah. It's basically you're following this woman and she has an affliction where she can't stop dancing.
Okay.
So you're following her. She's brushing her teeth, but like her hand is going all over the place because she can't stop dancing. She's going into work and everyone in the subway is looking at her. She's at work making a presentation, but everyone's like, why is this crazy bitch dancing? She can't stop dancing. It is a big condition that she has.
Mm-hmm.
Midway through the video, she's on an escalator at a mall. What does she see coming on the other end of the escalator? A guy who can't stop dancing. They're meant to be. And so in the second half of the music video, they're dancing at their wedding. They're dancing while she's giving birth. And then at the end, their kids are dancing at the dinner table.
Wow.
And that's just like, it literally has made me cry in the past.
No.
And so I would say Why Go by Faithless featuring Estelle is a really good one that you can put on, because no one will probably have heard of it, especially in the United States of America.
Wow.
And then you'll be the star of the show.
That's a beautiful, beautiful recommendation. Mine, my go-to currently is Kylie Minogue, Slow.
Nice.
So we're kind of on a, not that popular in America trend right now, the two of us.
Yeah.
And I think it's our duty as LGBTQ plus Americans to promote Kylie Minogue whenever we get the chance and the opportunity. And this video is sort of her writhing around on the floor, surrounded by like 100 guys in Speedos that are also writhing around on the floor. This song is so slow and sexy, and you're like, this is amazing. And then there's like slow falling off of diving boards and stuff, and it's just simply to die for. And then what I like to do is I do that, and then you do Dua Lipa's Illusion after, because she's clearly referencing it. Of course. And you say, hello, respect radical optimism, folks.
Yeah,
she had vision, you just didn't see it.
Well, she had vision in that she was copying an existing video?
She's paying homage.
I see.
She is lifting up Kylie Minogue.
Got it. Well, speaking of lifting up Kylie Minogue, another one that you could do is All the Lovers, which is one of the more iconic kind of mid to late career Kylie Minogue videos.
Yeah.
I have to say, one that you put on to be a little more contemporary, which I had never seen the full version of, is Midnight Sun by Zara Larsson.
Oh my God.
And we were all losing our minds.
It is so good.
It's so good.
It's so funny.
There's something about it that because, and she will admit this, because the album flopped, there's something about it that already feels nostalgic. You were like, remember?
Did it flop?
Yeah.
But in
a literal,
the
straightforward way.
Like the money way.
No, also in the being known way.
I don't know.
I say this as a fan.
No, of course.
There was literally a video of her where there's an interview with her where she's like, okay, well, I was afraid of flopping and I flopped.
No, but that's from a previous album.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think
oh my God, I've been got by fake news.
You've literally been got by
So you think
AI.
Midnight Sun was a #1 hit?
I think based on her projections, it reached them and exceeded.
Oh, okay.
And I think because she's talking now, she's talking about how she's out of the asylum.
I'm gonna need to fact check that, but I will believe you for the sake of this conversation. And I will say then I will change my argument, which is to me at least, Midnight Sun had the potential to be truly Song of the Summer, and it wasn't. I think we can at least agree on that.
Of course.
I think it could have been like the espresso of the summer, and it just... So there is something about it that's like this optimism that didn't pan out the way we had hoped. And so it already feels nostalgic to me because I'm like, remember in May 2025 when we first heard this and we were like, wow, this is going to be a big hit.
Yeah. Well, we're sort of doing Crossfire right now, which I love.
Well, yes.
Because I'm like, okay, so, but Midnight Sun, like the whole plot is like, the summer isn't over yet.
Right.
So I was listening to the song in the middle of the winter.
I see.
Even though it wasn't a hit in the summer. And I was like, you know what? She's right. Like, it's still actually summer because I'm hearing the song. And so if it gets any more traction, like today, I'm like, it's Song of the Summer.
Okay, so maybe what you're saying is that it is inherently nostalgic because no matter where you are, you're basically thinking, what if it was summer?
You're like, wait, even this counts as summer.
It counts as summer.
Because summer isn't over yet.
Yeah. And even the artifice of the video is part of that. It's like,
of course,
you're lying to yourself and you're romanticizing lying to yourself.
No,
it's literally February, it's snowing, and you are saying summer isn't over yet.
God, watching that video with that group of gay guys was so fun because every gay guy was like, does she even dance? Does she even dance?
And then she danced.
Oh, guess what? She dances. She dances well. Okay, we're going from music to guess what? Comedy.
Ooh.
Hey guys, love you both. So basically, I'm going to plagiarize a question from Jesse David Fox, if that's okay. And I want to know if you guys would answer, what's something that people think is comedy that you think is not comedy? Here is my context. Friday night, went and saw you guys at the Bell House. It was a delight. Just like the wildest, most fun night of comedy ever. Okay. Saturday night, I paid over $100 to see a straight man comedian do an hour that was mostly gender stereotypes. And I was like, oh my God, this still exists? Like, it's still legal to be hack. It's really terrible stuff. So basically, that is the context for my question. I'm sure you guys can think of something that's not comedy that is more interesting and thought out than this message from a non-comedian. But I would love to hear it. Okay, bye-bye.
Wow, what a beautiful call, and thank you for coming to the show.
Well, I want to know what the straight comedian was.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't name drop. That would have been nice to know, because then you could have done it and we wouldn't have had to say it.
I agree.
And we could have gotten away with like posting shit talk without saying the shit talk.
I agree. So that's just a note for next time. But that's a great first attempt.
You guys are totally anon, so feel free to use first and last names and say whatever you want about anybody.
Yeah, or just DM us. I want to know who it was.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Do you have like a quick not quick, but I'm feeling nebulous about my answer.
There's something about things. What I don't like is when things are only reactive. Like when who is that sort of like fashion? This is not about him, and I have no negative thoughts towards him. But like that fashion guy, Nicky something, who's what's his last name? Oh God, I know it. I think his like handle is like Nicky Doll. Nicky Doll,
but I'd forget what his like official name is.
This guy, his sort of whole thing is that he posts these slideshows of red carpet looks, and then it's like, you made fun of this, and it's like him being like, hate it, love, okay, don't hate this, it's trash, expensive, she looks fab.
Yeah.
So there is so much out there that's like the comedy equivalent of that, and it's just like your job is to basically plug yourself in Matrix style to whatever the culture is talking about and like fire off opinions about it. So much so that I've seen like videos where it's just facial reactions to something happening. It'll be like the main video is, a speech at an award show or something, and then it's you basically making a face to imply disgust or something.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
no, that's one of the worst.
That is something you do with your friends. That does not need to be content. And so I think I would like expand that broadly speaking to like, it's okay to be reactive. Everyone wants to comment on things happening, but then you have to like add an opinion on top of that or like zoom out or something.
Yeah, bring it into a broader context. I know what you mean. Like a pet peeve is like when people are so topical because they're trying to sort of get like a viral clip.
And this is like what happened with the Timmy talking about ballet thing. No one's heart was in it and no one was offended by that statement.
I mean,
it's just like, oh my God, amazing. This is a simple black and white thing that we can all kind of play with as though it's like a chew toy that was thrown into the dog pen that is like social media. And it's like, well, you're being dishonest with me.
Everyone's being dishonest.
You know, what else? I mean, I certainly don't like it when I'm seeing a comedy show and there's a slideshow and it's just like an existing funny image that you have curated.
Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes when language is too trendy,
yeah,
that really bothers me. If you're like using like too many like internet catchphrases and just expecting that to be the joke, that bothers me. The classics, of course, just saying stuff that people will agree with. And like on both sides of the political spectrum, completely. That's horrible. And
also easy targets. I'm kind of like, if you're talking to a crowd of all people that think exactly like you, and I'm saying this about myself as well, and your target is Joe Rogan, it's like, that's not brave. Everyone in that crowd hates Joe Rogan, and that's fine, and like, good for them.
Yeah.
The idea that you're being brave by like bringing him down a peg is just false. That's all in your head.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I'm
trying to think like what else I hate. I mean, there's plenty I hate, I guess.
You know what's funny? I used to have so many really specific opinions about what was hack and what wasn't in stand-up comedy. And now, because everything has been overtaken by TikTok creators, I am so protective of stand-up comedy as an art form that I'm like, even if you're being hack, at least you're doing it. Like, at least you're going out, talking to an audience. Every time I see someone do stand-up, even if they're truly bombing, I'm like, good for you. You're keeping the dream alive. You could be completely, even if you are literally someone who's like a Instagram native video creator, okay, you're going on tour and you're trying.
I feel exactly the same way. And also anything can be done well.
Yes.
Even if you're like, normally this would suck, but they did it amazingly. I'm like, okay, well, good for you then.
Yeah. So
keep them laughing,
keep
folks.
Keep them laughing, folks.
Yeah, I think we should bring back catchphrase comedy. I think it's been too long.
Well, I agree, but guess what? Make your own catchphrase. Because what you're like speaking in internet lingo, and I can see this, you and I sometimes fall into it because it's easy. I mean, we're talking literally 15 million hours a week.
Yeah, but when we say tea, it's ironic.
No. But even when it's ironic, like it's just a shortcut. It's like a way to vamp while you think of the next thing to say.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of bringing back catchphrase comedy.
I think a good catchphrase could really go far right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but I think it could go far. Oh, this might be from the same person.
Okay.
Because the number is the same, actually. So huge shout out.
Hey, guys. I was wondering if you could let me know if having a birthday celebration for a pet is gay or straight. Thank you so much.
This is very interesting. And I could see it really going both ways. Because there's, of course, the sitcom trope of like, these crazy gay guys are having a birthday party for their dog named Tinkerbell.
Completely.
And you're sort of like, okay. Like, you're like, I'm laughing.
I mean, in Broad City, John Early and Elliot Glazer play gay guys who have a wedding for their dogs.
Literally. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I think there's that. But then there's also something where like a straight couple almost can use it to like dry run what it would be like to have a child.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, let's like, how would we throw a birthday for not us?
Pet culture. It's funny because Max texted us, has anyone ever done pets? And we, of course, didn't text him back. But pets.
We were busy.
We were. It's true. I mean, you were trying to sleep.
I was trying to sleep. If I started looking at my phone, even though I was already looking at my phone, it would have.
Right. No, I mean, we did nothing wrong, to be clear. But I think that pet culture is one of those things that like warps the gay straight binary.
Yeah.
There are so many layers to pet ownership and so many ways in which it fucks with your brain that I don't even know anymore if I can be like, even with like cats and dogs, for example, if someone was like gun to your head, which of cats and dogs is gay and which one is straight? There's so many arguments both ways. I mean, dog is straight in that it's like man's best friend and it's like the default, and cat is more alternative. But then cat is so like, okay, like crazy cat lady.
I would argue she's LGBTQ+.
You think cat is just generally speaking LGBTQ+. I mean,
they've got too much tood.
They've got too much tood. But then you have like, you know, the stereotype of like the gay guy having a little chihuahua, like dogs in little outfits, whereas cat. Anyway, so so throwing a birthday party for your pet. I'm gonna say gun to my head. I'm gonna say straight.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
How about you?
I guess straight. Maybe more so. What is straight to me also is like knowing when your pet is born. Like a gay person,
yes,
finds their dog. Like it's a rescue. It's sort of like there's a blurred line of like when they were
That's genius.
born.
To know the birthday of your dog means that it's not a rescue. And that's what makes it straight. I would say having like a bar mitzvah for your dog is more gay.
Well, yes.
It's
doing your dog's astrological chart.
Doing your dog's
Whoa.
astrological chart is gay, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think birthday is such a default. It's so unimaginative. So I would even say wedding for a dog is gay. Any ceremony that isn't a birthday is gay, but birthday is straight. That's where I'm landing.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, next question.
Okay, great. Uh-oh, here we go. This one's a hard one.
Sam and George, Nick, one of your all-time greatest straight listeners here. Just wanted to give you a call. I know you guys are big Pitchfork, indie, hipster music guys. I'm curious, what are your favorite bands in that world? And what are the gayest and straightest Pitchfork hipster type bands? Love the show. Thank you, guys.
Amazing question.
This is sort of one of those generational questions that, you know, we better not fuck this up.
I like that he labeled himself one of the all-time greatest straight listeners.
I mean, I guess he knows something we don't.
Rank 'em, mister.
So I kind of pulled up, and we don't have to go through this one by one or anything, but I pulled up the listener poll, 2010 Pitchfork listener poll. And I'm just going to read some names at you, and then I can put my phone away, and then we can have a conversation.
Okay.
All right. The National, Arcade Fire, Beach House, LCD Sound System, Sleigh Bells, Vampire Weekend, Titus Andronicus, Flying Lotus, Black Keys, Caribou, Crystal Castles, Local Natives, Tame Impala, Best Coast, MGMT, Broken Social Scene, Gaysayer, Foles, Toroi Moi, Mumford and Sons. Oh, Baths, shout out.
Shout out.
But not a band, unfortunately. And I mean, let's see, what could we add to that?
Well, just to like feel it out.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like, it's hard not to get like literal with it. I'm trying to like think outside the box.
Let's start simple. Arcade Fire.
See, to me, they are obviously like straight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they were like, well, they're kind of like Portland straight. And they were like banging on every little thing they could find and being like, look how crazy we are.
Yeah, they exist in contrast to the default rock band that is like five guys and it's like guitar, drums, bass, keyboard, whatever. They are like, there's so many of them and they come and go, and there's something sort of polyamorous about the whole ethos.
Which is interesting because I kind of feel like Broken Social Scene is a little more LGBTQ+.
I agree.
There's one, sex positive.
Sex positive, Canadian.
Lover Spit. Well, Arcade Fire is also Canadian.
Oh, that's right. Fuck.
But that's why I think they're good comps to each other.
Yeah, I agree. No, I definitely think Broken Social Scene is gay, Arcade Fire is straight.
Yeah.
If we can go down that road.
And then I think, where do you think Animal Collective stands?
See, Animal Collective to me is... Animal Collective I've never gotten into. I'm sorry to say. Animal Collective to me is the album cover that is the optical illusion. That's all I think about, and I just know that album cover.
Wow.
I think it's such a like Pitchfork punchline.
Yeah.
That I'm inclined to say straight just because of what their reputation is.
I mean, I do think They're tough. I think they do count as straight because
Yeah.
it's like only straight guys have like a certain level of confidence where you're like allowed to like really fuck off.
Yeah.
I saw them at shout out to Pitchfork Festival in whatever year that
course.
was. They played no songs you recognized.
Really?
Truly like only new stuff from an album that hadn't come out yet. And then like maybe towards the end they played one song that you knew, but not like one of the big ones. And
Okay.
I was like, damn, these guys are really leaning in. And they were like headliners.
So maybe it's that they reached a pin when they were at their peak that was like straight.
Yeah.
It's sort of, but they're getting back to their roots.
Yeah. I mean, I like that they all have little nicknames. That's a little gay of them.
Mm-hmm. This is like how when MGMT performed at my university, they refused to do kids.
Really?
Yes.
Did you guys riot?
It was like it was like known that at the time they weren't performing kids.
Oh, so you expected
So people
it.
knew. Yeah.
And were people like respect? Or were they like, fuck them?
I just think it was more so like no one knew enough to, like, everyone was just excited there was a band performing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
which was sort of even more sad. And you could tell that for them, this was not the gig they wanted to be doing. I'm
Yeah,
sure it
yeah.
paid better because it was a college show. But I'm trying to think. I mean, okay, Vampire Weekend. That's like a foundational one that we have to address.
I would go gay.
I agree.
And not to put it all on Rostam, but because
Well, it's certainly Rostam, but there's also many of these bands have a sense of irony. I'm not saying they're the only ones that have a sense of irony, but they have a sense of camp.
they do.
Vampire Weekend from the beginning has been campy.
Yeah. The little preppy thing.
I would say on a personal level, Beach House is very gay to me. I mean, it's so like sensitive gay guy. No?
Well, to me, it's a bit, I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
But to me, it's so like palatable.
Really?
Yeah.
That's true. It's very like, it goes from album immediately to soundtrack
Yeah.
of like an HBO show.
Yeah. 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 And they like never let you in. Like,
But I think that's what's gay about it. It's like gay guy that has bangs on one of his over one of his eyes. That's like, you don't get me.
I can see that.
I'm trying to think of other big.
Do you remember the band Girls?
Of course.
And they were so like, they had the music video for their song that was like explicit, where the one guy was like singing into a dick. And it was like, whoa, this is so crazy. And then meanwhile, he's just like married to a woman now.
I know. Well, Girls, that's the thing, is like the ones that have persevered and become mainstream are obviously by definition the less, provocative
Mhm.
ones. And you forget that there was a part of the Pitchfork era that was way more subversive than like what made it out.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
wasn't all Arcade Fire and Vampire Weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, remember Das Racist?
Oh God. Yeah. I was obsessed with them.
Now that's crazy.
I was obsessed. It's like we actually can't talk about this era of Pitchfork because it's like too nostalgic.
It's too nostalgic.
It kind of hurts to hear. I'm being held back from being like, I saw Titus Andronicus in college and I had a Four Loko and
Well, hello. It's kind of like how I know one of the members of Yeasayer and I talk about it all the time. I've had dinner with him in the last calendar year.
Okay, we have to move on. Yeah, I actually was friends with one of the guitarists from Titus Andronicus, so it's kind of complicated.
Yeah, and
I've been to his house.
I met someone from Portugal and Man, but we don't have to talk about it.
So we have to move on. Okay.
I just want to say I love local natives.
I don't have a relationship with them.
Hi, Sam and George. I was just calling. It's the day after the Oscars, and I desperately need to know how you guys feel about the Heim crew to Oscar recipient pipeline.
Right.
Paul Thomas Anderson famously works with the Heim girlies, got multiple Oscars, and the woman who won for cinematography, Autumn, I'm forgetting her last name, apparently, according to the internet, also worked with Heim. Yeah, big day for a Heim crew to receive Oscars, and I would just love to hear what you guys have to say about that. I also want to know of the Oscar awards that Paul Thomas Anderson did receive, I think he got 3, editing, directing, and Best Picture. Which one is Esty, which one's Alana, and which one's Danielle? Thank you, love you, bye.
See, that's what it's all about. That's literally why I'm going to cry. That's why we do this. To be asked editing, directing, and Best Picture, which one is Esty, which one is Alana, and which one is Danielle. That's why
really
I get out
tough.
of bed in the morning.
Yeah. Especially with that kind of gay guy voice.
Oh my God.
I love that.
It was phenomenal. I want to say, first of all, that the casting director that won the first ever casting Oscar is Greek American.
Really?
Yeah. So shout out to her.
Yeah, that's awesome. She really accepted that award with, this is so, by the time this comes out, the Oscars will be so forgotten.
It doesn't matter.
But the way that she accepted that award was so nonchalant.
It was amazing.
You would think she was like accepting like her DoorDash order.
Well, she has this vibe of like, okay, I have another meeting after this. What is this one about? Yeah, and I love Paul is great. He's fabulous. We love his voice. Like it's LA woman that has 15 meetings per day.
She's like, God, do you guys have enough stairs to get up to this damn podium? I swear.
And it's like she just is a professional, and it legitimate. I mean, I'm sure it's an honor that she won the Oscar, but she's like on to the next. Like I'm sure she's in the middle of like some very, very tense back and forth with Jennifer Lawrence's people.
Oh my God, the emails that woman must deal with every single day. I can't even imagine. Like some people, I don't know what's going on politically by the time this comes out, but this woman deals with so much.
Can you imagine casting one battle after another? You're back and forth with Alana Haim. You're back and forth with Tiana Taylor. You're back and forth with Leo's people. They can't be fun to deal with.
No. I mean, this is, I think I said this on Friday, but I'm going to repeat myself. But I'm like, the fact that like Euphoria season 3, they all were able to show up at the same time is like the most impressive. I'm like, give them an award.
And
they all showed up.
There still isn't the proof that they did, but I hope you're right.
That's true.
Okay. So editing, directing, Best Picture.
Okay.
So editing, directing, producing are the 3 things, basically.
That's what we're counting as Best Picture? I
Well,
mean, I
the
know that's who
producer accepts-
wins.
Okay, so you think it should be like Best Picture as a concept?
Yeah.
It should be like the awards as concepts.
Yes.
Okay, go.
I think Best Picture.
It's tough.
Okay. I think editing might be Danielle.
Whoa.
Like there's something where she's like in it. She
gets the raw files,
Yes.
and it's up to her to make an album.
Yes.
You think it's more that than she has the concept in mind? You know what I mean?
Like director?
Is it that Esty is more conceptual because she has a PhD in ethnomusicology, which is something I don't bring up often, but it is a fact I know from UCLA. So is Esty...
So you're saying Esty's editing?
Is she... Maybe Esty's editing.
Yeah.
We don't know. We think of Esty as the comedian, but maybe we've been underestimating her this whole time.
She has a degree.
She has a degree, a PhD.
Does UCLA mean nothing? Is that what you said?
Yes, UCLA.
Okay.
Or USC. I'm not going to look it up. I'm pretty sure it's UCLA, though.
Cali College.
Cali College. She went to Cal Arts and studied sculpture and performance art. So I think that I almost want to say Esty is editing, Alana is Best Picture, Danielle is directing. Because Alana is sort of like the face. She's the movie star of the operation.
Right.
And if there's one of them that's going to be like solo sitting on the couch with Fallon, you know, while he's like, so you made a movie. That's crazy. It's crazy. You made a movie. You made a movie. That's crazy. So when you were filming it, that's so crazy. You did that. It's going to be Alana.
That was an amazing impression.
Thank you.
You didn't ever tell me you just had that.
It's one of my secrets that I like to pull out sometimes.
That was scary. Well, I completely agree with you. Let's go to the next call.
Hi, Sam and George. This is Shivani. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all of your work, both StraightioLab and everything else. You really keep me going, and I really appreciate
She's
it.
about to be silenced.
Second of all, Sam, I just want to say that when you said that you wanted to get married without being engaged, it literally cured me. I literally didn't know it was possible to get married without being engaged. And the concept of being engaged horrifies me. So when I found out that it was possible, I was able to actually plan a New York City Hall wedding for next month to get straight married, and I'm really excited. So again, thank you for that. Really changed my life. Okay, so my question is, last month I was on a group trip with like 4 straight couples, and we kind of discovered that every like man, like straight man in the group has a plan of where they would go, like when their like gorgeous wives inevitably kick them out of the house. Like they've literally all thought about this. It's kind of like second nature. They had an answer. They were like, I'm going to like this place, my friend's basement. Like, of course, you have to have a plan. And like none of the women in the group had ever even once like thought about this before. I didn't even know. Like I was like, wait, what? Like, why would I think about that? Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. Kind of like a new straight dynamic I discovered that day. Yeah, my question is basically just, do gay guys have this too, or is this like a completely heterosexual thing? Like, do you guys know where you would go if you got kicked out of your house? Do other people talk about this in the gay community? Yeah, so that's my question. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.
I know where I'd go. Zipolite. No.
You are so unserious. You are so unserious.
I think this is interesting. It's sort of microdosing, like doomsday prepping.
Completely.
I think there is something that straight guys like to imagine the worst and like sort of draw that out, but at the same time, they also, in the same way doomsday prepping, kind of like to fantasize about the worst.
It's complicated. It's such a trope that I'm so glad we're talking about, because I had never thought about it before, but the trope of the husband being, quote, kicked out. Like, it's never the wife being kicked out. That's the imbalance that we're talking about here. It's like, if there is a divorce or a breakup, usually it's like, hey, he's trash. And then the man is kicked out. And then, of course, there's a stereotype of like the depressing divorced guy apartment that's like, you know, in some new building, and there's like a neighbor and the elevator isn't working, and he tries to put like one Selena Gomez poster up for his daughter, but she's like, it's not the same.
Yeah, I haven't liked her for 10 years.
Yeah. So I think that it's interesting, because what's sort of inherently kind of sad about it is like, the guy does do all this work to figure it out, but it's never enough. You know, give him some credit. He has had to find an apartment. He has had to like furnish it in like a week's time. Like, he's trying. Even, I'm talking about like the best case scenario of this. And he still is going to be seen as like, I don't want to go to dad's.
Of course.
But I do think it's interesting to think about it in advance. I must say, this is certainly not something I have ever thought of in my years of cohabitation.
It has never struck my mind. But I don't know. I mean, I've never talked to other gay guys about this, if they have a plan. I've never.
I mean, I think it's more general of like, housing is so precarious in New York that sometimes I'm like, if we could no longer live in our current apartment, where could we go? What could this amount of money get us? Like, blah, blah. And I mean, now that I'm married, not so much, but in the beginning of a relationship or in the beginning of cohabitation, I do remember feeling like, well, thank God there's 2 of us, because like based on how much money I have to spend right now, I would not be able to find a 1-bedroom.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for sure. This is a very interesting, like, it's kind of a bleak picture.
Well, of course. But it's complicated because, so the man is thinking about where he's going to escape to.
Yeah.
I think, and again, we're thinking about sort of like a default, you know, straight couple with 2 kids or something. I think the woman is thinking like, what will happen with the kids?
Sure.
It's like the man is thinking, okay, I'll go to my boy's place. And the woman is being like, oh my God, like, will they have to change schools? Like, do I, you know, how do I make it so that their lives are not impacted by the divorce? She's having like deeper questions than just what apartment I'm going to live in.
Yeah. It's an interesting, like, this is where our research fails, where I'm like, oh, we like actually don't have close enough relationships to groups of straight men to know this culture. The fact that this is a surprise to me is like a little scary. Like I'm like, I thought I knew. I thought I knew straight guys. They all have secret plans on where they'll go. I guess not that secret. But
it is something I haven't thought about, the planning. Something I have thought about recently, because I do know people getting divorced, is
huge.
Thank you. Is how, and this is something that is such a big trope on film and TV, but I sort of, for some reason, thought it wasn't real in real life. But like divorced guys in their 40s clean up.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to be attractive. You barely have to be employed.
Yeah.
Whereas of course, divorced women in their 40s, it's like, oh no, what, like, this is such an awkward age to be, like, to be online dating, to be not awkward age. I don't want to be ageist, but just like to be a divorcee is like a complicated, like you have to go all the way. You have to be like, either I'm glamorous wearing a fur and a bodysuit underneath, or I'm being like, I'm an adult and I go into every day being like, okay, here are my 5 non-negotiables.
Yeah. Well, yeah, men like in that position get like there's already a narrative to follow.
Exactly.
That's like very easy.
And you're in fact desirable.
Yes.
Literally, I know women our age who are like, I want a divorced guy.
What is that? What's their reasoning?
I think their reasoning is, I worry that if things we're saying are like offending listeners or people that are fitting into these categories. But I think from what I understand based on women I know, then the desire for a divorced guy is that, let's say a guy is 47, has never been married. That's quote unquote a bad sign because he's never made it work. Mm-hmm. Whereas a guy who is 47 and divorced, okay, like it might have not worked out, but he was able to have a long-term relationship. Like,
he's house trained.
He's house trained. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's marriage is a sign of adulthood, even if it ends in divorce. Like, he has done the thing you're supposed to do. And of course shit happens. Like, maybe they grew apart, maybe they fell out of love, maybe someone cheated, whatever. But like, he has done it. Whereas a 47-year-old bachelor, you're like, wait, so you've never had to like share space with anyone?
I mean, honestly, going through a divorce, I'm like, you must be so good at paperwork.
That's a really good point.
So I couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't get a divorce if I tried. It stressed me out. It'd be a full-time job. Okay. Next call. I'm actually so proud of myself for being able to play the calls.
Hey guys. Long-time glamour girl, first-time caller. I was actually the brave soul who admitted to a sold-out Bell House show that I was a straight woman and someone who had also seen Heated Rivalry. I just want to thank you both for being so nice to me. I was far too afraid to speak up the first time. I would never take away the spotlight from the icon, the legend, Patty Harrison. But when you asked the second time, I believed you when you said you'd be respectful. I just want to say I love the pod. What you guys do for culture, language, irony, and humor is absolutely the best. XOXO, Jess, or who's that girl? It's Jess.
Oh, right. I forgot about our back and forth.
So basically we invented irony, and I'm really proud of us. And
yes, it's going really well.
It's going really well. No one's using it for evil.
And no one ever will.
And thank you for being an active participant in our live show. We are so respectful of our audience members. Everyone should take note and participate when we ask them to. And to be honest, I didn't mean to play that call, but but I did, and I just let it run. And so
I was like, you are just playing praise. Like, we don't usually do that.
We meant to cut it, and I forgot, but we did play it.
But we meant to cut it only. We're keeping this in, by the way. We meant to cut it just because it feels sort of self-congratulatory to play such a positive call with no question, not because we don't like Jess.
No, it's beautiful, and we appreciate it. And it's honestly funny that right before I played it, I said, I can't believe I'm doing such a good job playing the calls. And then I played the wrong one. But it was right in all the right ways.
It was right in all the right ways. Jess, we asked, are there any straight women here who love Heated Rivalry? But because that's such a aggressive question,
it felt like a trap.
No one spoke up.
Yeah.
And then Jess finally was like, you know what? I have to speak my truth, and raised her hand.
And it was great. Okay, here's the call I mean to play.
Okay.
Hi, gay guys. Long time listener, long time caller. I am calling because I don't know where else to go with this, but I basically just left the in New York City for the first time, and I went incidentally on the gay day, and I am gay, but I feel like I've left feeling more homophobic than I ever have, because it was my first experience with like gay cruising culture. And so I wanted to hear your girls' thoughts on cruising, what experiences you've had with it in the past, what it makes you feel about the gay community, because the light is feeling very dim to me right now. But now I'm going to Julius to perk my spirits, so it'll be okay. Thank you. Love you.
So we will be bleeping the name of the establishment this caller is talking
Lawrence,
about.
please bleep.
But all you listeners need to know is that there is a sauna-like space in the New York tri-state area. And there are certain times when it's men only, and those times are known for being cruisy, which means that you can be sort of cruised.
Yeah. I wish you had elaborated, caller, on what dimmed your light.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that can mean so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that in this particular sauna type space in the tri-state area, I think it can be quite overwhelming on those days, because in the last 5 years, the place has become like a spot, and it used to be like kind of like if you know, you know, and now it's like not a secret in any way, shape, or form. It feels like being on the subway when you're in there. It's so crowded, and it's not like, I also don't find it fun. Like
Really?
I've only been once in the last 4 years.
So I have never been, and it is one of those things that I've obviously been hearing about for, I don't know, over a decade. And it reminds me of when I was in my early 20s living in San Francisco and people were going to Burning Man. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is obviously a little eye-rolly, but I want to experience it once. And then the years kept passing and passing and passing, and Burning Man kept getting obviously more and more awful. And then it got to a point where I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing this, and I feel fine about it. That's sort of how I feel about this place, where I'm kind of like, maybe I just missed the golden era, and I will have to be okay with that. Like, rather than going now just to say I've gone.
Pre-pandemic, it was like kind of unknown. Or not unknown, people knew, but it was like, it wasn't so trendy as like a thing. Then the one time I've been in the last 4 or 5 years, like Misha and I went, and it's like also just a sauna space, and you're like, it's supposed to be like subtle-ish if there is cruising, but it was so packed, and we were like, what is going on? And we saw someone we knew there, and we were like, why is it so crowded? And he was like, oh, because Troye Sivan was here yesterday.
Well, I have to say, they also don't do themselves any favors. There's actually a good... I mean, now we're fully... There's a Times article about this that's literally about the power struggle between the one of the owners and the son of the other one that has taken over. You got to go
on the right day, yeah.
And so the son of the one that has taken over wants it to appeal to a younger crowd, and like runs the Instagram, and the Instagram sometimes does feature celebrities. Yeah. And it is an interesting give and take, because you're like, on the one hand, obviously business-wise, he's making a good decision. Like, if the old clientele, dies off, like, you want the Troye Sivans of the world to be coming. But then suddenly, you're running a sort of Soho House type business.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I generally, on the cruising front, I think it's better when it's more tasteful. Like when it's like more subtle and more nuanced.
I agree. Maybe I'm just old fashioned, but to me, I'm like, a gay bar is still like a good, diverse, well-curated gay bar is always going to be my favorite space to like meet someone, flirt with someone, kind of go around, do the rounds and see what's going on out there. Like, I think that also has to do with the privilege of the time we live in, like, because you can do that out in the open and you don't have to go into the woods. I obviously understand people romanticizing and fetishizing the experience of woods. Cruising. Like, I completely get it, and I in no way want to stigmatize it, but I think I think for me, I love being in a bar.
I have to tell this story of there's a sauna-like space in the Southern California area.
Oh, interesting. I wonder what city.
That is known for having some LGBTQ plus clientele.
Oh, interesting.
That love to mingle in certain ways.
Cool.
And but the manager of this place like makes me die laughing because he like is clearly gay, but he kind of has to put on a show about like stop that. So he'll walk into the steam room and be like, "Are you guys serious? Seriously, you guys? Stop! Do you think I'm stupid?"
And that's like his life every single day.
Every day.
Like you're seeing that like once every 6 months when you go, but that's him every day. And every day he has to like be like, okay, like really sell it this time.
Do you think I'm stupid? I love it. I love it. It's so funny. And then he'll just be like chit-chatting with like the regulars.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, so you, whatever. It's confusing.
Saunas are interesting in the sort of gay or straight spectrum too, because there are so many that are super straight. Like, there are like our new ones that are sort of like VC funded, like Bathhouse in New York is so kind of West Village girl finance bro coded.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just like if you think about like a really expensive spa or something, it's very like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
It really can completely run the gamut.
You've got to find the right one for you and your wants.
Hi, George and Sam. I am calling from Baltimore, and I have a question for you guys to ponder. So I love funny people, and I know that you guys are very funny, and you're both comedians. But I don't always love stand-up. And it's so funny because, like, stand-up is kind of considered, like, the quintessential comedy art form.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with comedians. I love them in conversations, in interviews, podcasts, anytime they're bantering, all of that. But once it's a formal set, like in the style of stand-up, I find that I really have trouble connecting with it. I get bored. And this happens even with people that I think are completely brilliant. So my question for you is there a way to kind of learn how to watch stand-up differently so that I can appreciate it more? What do you think I might be missing here? Are some people just not meant to get stand-up? And if some people just don't connect with it, why do we consider it like the quintessential comedy art form? Would love to hear your answer. Thanks so much. Bye.
Now, this is interesting.
I was interested in this.
And this is very true.
Yes.
And by the way, I get it.
I get it bad.
You have to really like be in the zone. First of all, frankly, you have to like grow up with it. Can you imagine discovering stand-up as like a 30-year-old?
I mean, to be honest, growing up, like stand-up was not the thing that spoke to me.
Interesting.
I was way more interested in sketch and like character stuff.
Okay, interesting.
But then it was more like the infrastructure of comedy where I was like, well, I'm not like, I can't go through the school. Like I'm going to do stand-up. Like I learned that like alt stand-up, you can kind of do whatever.
Yeah. And you don't need props or a team or a theater.
Exactly.
Interesting. I was a huge sort of like stand-up nerd, even in like the straight way. Like I was really like George Carlin, Richard Pryor. Like I knew the basics and was like really into. And then of course I discovered Joan Rivers and I discovered the more gay stuff. But I think that I was making this comparison recently, like stand-up can be alienating in the same way that fashion can be alienating. Like if you know nothing about fashion and you see photos from a runway show, let's say 2 runway shows and one of them is supposed to be good and one of them is supposed to be bad. You're looking at it and you're like, well, all of them look stupid. Like I don't know the vocabulary here. So I'm just seeing people wearing like crazy, like weird feathers.
Right. Why is that one really celebrated and that one
exactly
hated?
And I think it is a language you have to learn. And oftentimes you'll see someone that is referred to as like a master of the craft, but you'll be like, wait, but it's corny to me.
I think something also is like, it is like visually boring as fuck. Like it's just a person standing there. If you're like at a live show, there's like the added element of like, I'm here and I'm witnessing it and there's tenseness here.
Well, this is the thing.
But if it's a filmed stand-up thing, it is like, this is tough to make it like, especially if you don't automatically like love the person or care deeply. It's like, how do you get them to like sit there for an hour and watch you stand on a stage with nothing, basically?
We've said this before, but stand-up just is a live art form. And I think so often people will say, I don't like stand-up, I don't get it. And then you'll be like, have you ever gone to a stand-up show? And they'll be like, no. But I've just like tried watching Comedy Central. Yeah. It is a completely different, it's like only watching, we've had this conversation before, but it's like only watching taped plays or something. And you're like, I don't really get Shakespeare. It's like, well, yeah, you got to see it on stage.
Well, there's something, I'm like, when people like, it'd be like watching a podcast and being like, why am I bored?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're supposed to be chopping vegetables.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like I think if like a stand-up set isn't clicking or like watching a special isn't clicking, like listen to it as you're like driving. Mm-hmm. I think that is that's like the way that I liked stand-up growing up.
Oh, interesting.
Is like hearing albums.
I mean, I did used to listen to, they used to tape some stand-up shows and release them as podcasts. Like actually I remember Cameron Esposito and River Butcher used to do that with their UCB show.
Yeah.
And that's like the first place I ever heard Kate Berlant. That's the first place I ever heard like just people that now, probably like Gabe Liedman, like people like alt LA people 10 to 15 years ago that I later met. But like I was like, oh, this is, then I knew what to expect when going into a comedy show. I didn't even know what the concept of a lineup was. Like you go to a comedy show, there's a sort of, there's a lineup of comedians. The order might change. It's not always like super intensely curated. Someone might drop in. The host might decide to like do 17 minutes out of nowhere in the middle of the show. There might be a disturbance in the crowd, so you have to address that. It's the excitement of it is not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's so much more fun live.
And as is music often.
Okay.
No,
you're right. Just trying to.
Music is more complicated because actually that sometimes there literally are musicians that are better listening to the album.
Yeah.
But I don't actually think that's true for any stand-ups, in my opinion.
No.
But what would you tell someone that's like, how do I get into stand-up?
I do think it's do audio only.
Okay, interesting.
That'd be my hot tip.
Yeah.
Because they say they like stuff, like even when it's comedians they really like, it doesn't work. So I'm like, I think it's the like needing to focus.
Yes, it's the form. You're like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? You can make it into a podcast, which is the form you already like.
Yeah, and then you'll have fun.
Well, I love that.
Well, officially we are ending.
Thank you so much for all your calls. And
call us anytime at 385-GAY, guys. And we do look through all of them when we're going to record one of these.
We look through, that's right. We look through all of them. We just sometimes post last minute in case someone has any super topical questions. But we're always listening to all the calls. We really appreciate the ones that are very complimentary but don't contain questions. And we treasure them, but we think it would be in poor taste to play them.
Yeah, except for the one that I played.
Except for the one that you played, which was obviously a complete and utter slay. So thank you for everything, and thank you for listening, and we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Podcast ends now. StraightioLab is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network and iHeart Podcasts.
Created and hosted by me, George Civeris, and Sam Taggart.
Executive produced by Jenna Cagle, co-produced by Becca Ramos.
Edited by Lauren Stump, and mixed and mastered by Doug Bain.
Artwork by Michael Fales and Matt Grubb. Theme music by Ben Kling.